Alright, let's talk about Polish food. So, fall is already in a full mode. So let's do this amazing Polish hunter stew. So, what about that Polish hunter stew? The base of the hunter stew is sauerkraut. The main thing behind its hunter stew, it's called in Polish Bigos, is about to be sour. Not too sour, not everybody likes too sour. I will teach you how to maintain the perfect level of sourness for each of you, because not every of us likes a lot of sour or not at all sour. So there's a trick to do that. And how Polish people kind of got into this. So first recipes of the hunter stew are known from 1682, around that kind of time. Yes, it is very old recipe. But according to the first culinary Polish book, this is from that time, 1700, the hunter stew was not about sauerkraut. They were adding some other stuff, and I think they were getting the sourness from like imported lemons. I even didn't know they have lemons at the time, but it was quite expensive. So some Polish genius lady got the sauerkraut into the recipe, and that was amazing. This is what gave the recipe sourness, and apparently the lemons at the time were very expensive, so it was a cheaper way to incorporate sourness into that hunter stew. And what do we put into the hunter stew? So, as many families in Poland, there's many recipes each family has. So basically, it is hunter stew called because of whatever you hunted, you put it in. So the basic one is usually sauerkraut, mushrooms, meat, sausage, onions. And I know also people who put tomato sauce in it for a little bit more sour. They mix sauerkraut with fresh cabbage to just balance the sourness a little bit better, but I don't like to put fresh cabbage because for me it kind of get more mushy, and I don't like that. I like the texture in the food, that I can feel different bites with different textures of food. That makes that perfect hunter stew. And that's it. I like the basics. My mom, she was doing egg sauerkraut stew, and it's the best memory of the home during the fall winter time in Poland. The Bigos and that warmth from it with either potatoes or bread. So enjoy this recipe. It's going to take some time because the hunter stew, the best ones, are cooked for a long time. And the best hunter stew is after cooking it. I cooked my hunter stew for 2 days and 6 hours on the first day, and I keep that to cool down, put this into the fridge, and the next day I cook it for like about 3 more hours. Yes, 9 hours of cooking it. And the best Bigos is the next day after those 2 days cooking. It all the flavors go through that meat sauerkraut, and it is heaven in your mouth. So to know that, you have to make that. So, and if you have any questions, any comments, let me know. If you ever tried that hunter stew, and if you have issues with the recipe and you need some more guide, there is in the description my email. You can always email me and I will try to give you the best answer to your questions. So let's get to it. Okay, so for making your hunter stew, first put some juice from the sauerkraut into the glass and save it for later. And the rest of the sauerkraut put it into the pot and add a lot of water and start heating up. When the first water is boiling, remove that water and put another one. And always check if it's sour or it's not sour yet. And this way you're removing that sourness by pulling out the water and putting the new one. When you think you are done with that water, just add the 2 bay leaves and few allspice and pepper, and then your meat can be beef or pork, whatever you like. And now we need to start cooking it. This is the part when you have to leave it alone and just cook it. And those are the dry mushrooms. I have them from Poland, but you can buy any dry mushrooms, and just don't buy shiitake mushrooms. And now is the moment to relax and watch the newspaper, and Bigos is cooking. And I had to start tackling this part of the kitchen. It was so messy, so I had to reorganize, declutter it, and clean up all the mess. So that was quite a challenge. When I pulled it out, everything from that closet, it was kind of like, oh my god, overwhelming. Okay, it was like, I can do it. Let me start from somewhere, but where? So just for a moment you have a mess, but then you can do it. It's simple. Just I decided to put in this bucket like a small jar so they don't float around and have a more clutter. And I found those amazing jars, in the glass jars in Amazon. I will link them below. Oh my god, they are so pretty. You can put anything in there. It's a big storage and they fit into the shelves, and it's amazing because they are also airtight with a nice wooden top. And then I have these markers to put it on, and you can store them and you know what's inside. It's the best organization ever. Just make sure you have a good containers, and you can do it any kind of declutter organization in your kitchen or your house. And this is I always store the empty jars from anything that I buy in the international market, like a Polish gem or like those sauerkraut jars, and I save them. This way I can use them for the next one as the storage. Alright, so this was overnight in the fridge after cooking for about 6 hours. That meat, it's so moist and so soft. Just make sure when you pull it out from the meat, from the cabbage, that sauerkraut is not on the meat, because then it's going to be not pretty, because that cabbage, it will start shooting in the oil. And now I'm like, okay, I cut the pork. What did I do with the knife? And I'm like, oh god, of course. I overwhelm myself in the kitchen. I don't know why. I put something somewhere and then I cannot find. So fry everything. Your pork, I like it because then it's kind of like gives you a better taste in the sauerkraut. Then cut the onions, and when the pork is done, place that in the sauerkraut and fry onions, and then put the fried onions in it and And now it's the sausage. So when I fry sausage, I add the marjoram spice, and now I'm trying to slowly pull out the sausage because over there is a lot of fat from the sausage when it's fried, and I do not like too greasy of my Bigos. Bigos should be greasy but not that greasy. So make sure you mix everything well, and I add always 3 jars of the sauerkraut. You can add only 2 jars, and for like 3 jars I added a nice big piece of the pork, half of the medium to large onion, and 1 sausage link from the store. And now I am going to grind a little bit of a nutmeg. I'm grinding it a little bit on the side because a few times I added straight to the jar, to the pan, and it was not sure how much I added. And with a nutmeg you have to be very careful. It's like a half teaspoon of a nutmeg, and that's it. Just adjust your salt. Check it out if you like it, and make sure you do like the sourness in it, if it's sour enough or not, because now we're going to pull out that juice from the refrigerator from yesterday, and we're going to adjust our sourness. This is why I saved the juice on the side from sauerkraut jar, and this way you can recheck, you can adjust to whatever level of sourness you like. And now it is done. 9 hours of cooking done. Alright, I have one more tidiness to tackle, the refrigerator top. So when it's coming to almost winter, like a Christmas time, holidays, I like to declutter. I like to clean everything from inside, outside. This is my style of doing it. So the next videos you're going to have all the tidying up and decluttering in my house, because this is the best time year to year to check what you have. If you have more time, you can do this earlier, because this is when you're finding out what you have in their shelves, in the closets. And I found those very nice looking like boxes, and I like them because they are not fabric. You can really easily wipe them, especially when they are in the kitchen. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. Let's put all this clutter in there so it doesn't look like you have more stuff, but it is contained in one box. Make sure only that you know what you have inside, so it's not buried there. This one was very easy because I don't have too much stuff on the top of the kitchen, because people coming in and they can see right away the mess on the top over there. So I try to not to keep too much of the things over there. So it was just to put everything in this box, kind of in a nice fashion way. This is me trying to find out the best spots for everything. And I like those from Costco seaweed, because if sometimes I do like a sushi or buy fresh tuna and eat with that, and that is my favorite Polish coffee. Yes, Poland have their own coffee, kind of coffee. I'm going to do a video. Just, you know what, comment me. Do you want me to show you this coffee? You want to find out more about that? And if you have any questions about the Polish hunter stew or anything in this video, comment me. I would gladly see your comments, respond to you. This is the best way to know you. Also, can you leave me a comment? Where are you guys from that you're watching? I always would love to know where you live and how did you find my channel, because that's the best way to find out and know you guys better, and I would love to have that. For me, you are considered as a family because you see my house, you are with me from the beginnings. If you're new, welcome, and let's be a family friend. So just let me know who you are, where you from, and if you have anything that you want to share, or did you ever try the Polish hunters to Bigos, because I'm very often on the Polish festivals, they have that available. And now a quick shopping in the international market by my house. They have all these jars with a Polish pickles, Polish sauerkraut. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week with a new content. See you. And I'll be